There was a time where if I did not have my daily dose of caffeine, I would turn into a complete zombie, and that other word that we're not gonna mention on this channel. The point is that you would not have liked me very much. Anyway, all that has changed, of course, and now I only sip on coffee when I'm craving it, not because I depend on it. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Kayla, and if you enjoy healthy recipes and healthy lifestyle advice, then I would love for you to join the family. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. So in today's video, I'm gonna be sharing my top 5 ways to increase and boost your energy levels without caffeine. Now, this video was highly requested on both my Instagram and my YouTube, so I'm really excited to just sit down and talk about this because, you know, so many people nowadays have low energy levels, and because of this, they're addicted to caffeine. You know, whether it's coffee or sodas or energy drinks, they need that quick jolt of energy to really wake them up in the morning and to keep them going throughout the day. And there's no doubt that low energy levels has really become an epidemic. And again, that's why people are reaching for these stimulants to give them that quick jolt of energy. Of course, the problem with too many stimulants over time is that it can have negative effects towards your health, and it can really start to wear down your body, especially your adrenal glands. Now, before we get into this, I do want to mention that it's very important to have a clean diet. Now, you know, that one change alone is going to improve your energy levels, but I figured, you know, most of my followers, y'all already know the importance of a clean diet. So these 5 things today are going to be things you can do in addition to a clean diet to really take your energy to the next level. The first thing you can do to increase energy without caffeine is to drink a pint of water first thing in the morning. Now, I know this sounds super simple, but believe me when I say that it makes the biggest difference in your energy, your alertness, and just how you feel throughout the rest of the day. You know, overnight, your body can become slightly dehydrated because you've gone 8 or more hours without any sort of liquid. And even slight dehydration can begin to affect your mood and your alertness and your energy levels. And if you become severely dehydrated, it can actually start to shrivel up and shrink your brain, which is crazy to think about. So it's very important to make sure that your body is hydrated when you first wake up. And you know, all I do is I just take one of those pint-sized mason jars, fill it up with water, sip on it throughout the morning, and then I'll also do my warm lemon water as well. And that way I make sure that my body and my brain is super hydrated first thing in the morning, and this really makes a big difference in my energy levels throughout the rest of the day. In fact, I challenge you for an entire week to drink anywhere from 2 to 4 cups of water when you first wake up in the morning, and watch how big a difference it makes in your energy levels, you know, not just in the morning, but throughout the entire day. And I also want to mention that it's important that your water is clean and filtered, so I am going to list some of my favorite water filters in the description box below just in case you're interested. And the second thing you can do to increase your energy is to try intermittent fasting. Now, if you're not familiar with intermittent fasting, it's not typical fasting. It's basically where you eat all of the calories for your entire day within a specific time frame. So for example, let's say you have your first meal around 11, and then you have your last meal around 5 or 6. That gives your body a 17 to 18 hour window of pure fasting. And the reason this can increase your energy levels is because it takes energy to digest food. And if you're constantly eating and snacking throughout the day, all this digestion requires energy. And in fact, as much as 30% of your daily energy can be used towards digestion, especially if you're eating foods that are hard to digest. And you know, that's why sometimes you can also feel, you know, tired or sluggish after eating a meal. And so by intermittent fasting, you're essentially limiting the time that your digestive system is forced to digest food and use up energy to a specific time frame. So you're not digesting food every couple of hours. And what this does is it gives your body a 17 to 18 hour break every single day where it's not having to use that energy for digestion, and so it can use up that energy in other ways. And one of those ways is by giving you more alertness and more brain power and just overall more energy. In fact, that's why I don't eat my first meal of the day until about 11 or 11:30. I find that I'm most productive, most alert and energized in those morning hours. I get so much done with work, and you know, I'm really not hungry when I first wake up anyway. And so if I force myself to eat, then it's really going to affect my productivity and my energy. And that's why I love intermittent fasting so much, because those morning hours when I'm still fasting, I am just so energized and so alert. And the next thing you can do to increase your energy is to eat grass-fed liver. Now, before you turn your nose up at me, hear me out. Did you know that grass-fed liver is one of the most nutrient-dense and bioavailable foods on the planet? And one of the biggest reasons why people are experiencing such low energy levels nowadays is because of underlying nutritional deficiencies, especially deficiencies in the B vitamins. And grass-fed liver is a great source of B vitamins, including both B12 and folate. It's also a great source of vitamin A, which is good for your skin health and your overall immune system. And I want to mention that grass-fed liver actually contains the most absorbable form of vitamin A called retinol. You see, beta carotene, it's great and all, but only about 10 to 20% of beta carotene is converted into retinol. Grass-fed liver is also a good source of vitamin D, E, and K, and it contains the most absorbable form of iron called hemi-iron. And while we're on the topic of iron, I really want to share this story about my stepmom. She was super low in iron. She had no energy. She was going to bed at like 7 o'clock at night. And so of course her doctor puts her on an iron supplement. It was synthetic and isolated iron, and she saw no improvement after being on it for a couple of months. And so I recommended that she try a grass-fed beef liver supplement instead. I mean, it couldn't hurt, right? And so she got on it, and within 30 days, her iron levels improved by like 50%, but more importantly, her energy was like back almost to normal. She was starting to work out again. You know, before she was going to bed at like 7 o'clock. Now she was staying up till like 10 o'clock. She just had so much more energy. And you know, that's because grass-fed liver contains hemi-iron, which, like I said, is the most absorbable form of iron. And not only that, but it's a whole food supplement, so it contains all the other support nutrients which are going to help the absorption rate as well. Grass-fed liver is also a great source of trace minerals like copper, zinc, phosphorus, chromium, manganese, magnesium, and so much more. I mean, when we talk about superfoods, grass-fed liver is the superfood of all superfoods in my opinion. And honestly, our ancestors knew it, because every time they would kill an animal, they would eat the organs and glands first. And you know, the muscle meat, which is what we eat today, was more like leftovers, or it was, you know, fed to the dogs or something. So our ancestors instinctively knew that these organs and glands were the most nutrient dense parts of the animal. And don't worry, if you can't stand the taste of liver, I can't either. There are several high quality grass-fed beef liver supplements on the market. I'm gonna go ahead and list my favorite below. But yeah, I take my grass-fed beef liver every day the same way I would a multivitamin, because essentially that's what it is. And number 4 is exercise. Now, I know you're probably thinking, Kayla, that's the whole point. I have no energy. How am I even gonna muster up this energy to start exercising to begin with? But what you have to realize is that continuing this sedentary lifestyle actually leads to more fatigue. So it's a vicious cycle that you're eventually gonna have to break out of if you really wanna get those energy levels. And there are so many studies out there that show that regular exercise actually reduces fatigue and increases energy. And if you think about it, it really makes sense, because exercise really gets that blood pumping, which is gonna use up stored energy. It's gonna energize your brain, drain your lymphatic system, which helps to detox the body. It's also gonna release those feel-good endorphins. And believe it or not, regular exercise also helps to improve your sleep, which of course is gonna make you feel better and more energized the next day. And I'm not saying you gotta go crazy and join CrossFit or something like that. I mean, if you do, that's completely fine. But we're just talking about any sort of movement on a regular basis. Walking, jogging, riding a bike, resistance training, you know, lunges, squats. Any type of movement is gonna help to increase your energy levels in the long run. And the last thing you can do to increase your energy without caffeine is to get a better night's sleep. Now, I'm sure all of you can relate. If you've ever had a bad night's sleep, you know that it can definitely affect your mood, your energy, and your alertness the next day. And you know, I find that most people don't have a problem falling asleep. They just have a problem getting good quality sleep. So, you know, they may get 7 or 8 hours of sleep, but they still wake up feeling unrested. If that sounds like you, then you definitely want to watch my video about sleep. I'll link that for y'all below. But you really want to make sure that you get to the root problem as to why you're not getting good quality sleep. I mean, it could be anything from a nutritional deficiency like magnesium, a hormonal issue, or it could just be as simple as too much blue light technology in the evening. You know, studies have shown that looking at too much blue light in the evening can affect your melatonin production, which of course is your sleep-inducing hormone. So, you know, not getting good quality sleep could be linked to anything, and you really want to get to that root problem, because at the end of the day, if you're not getting good sleep, it's definitely going to affect your energy levels. All right, y'all, that is it for today's video. My top 5 ways to increase your energy without without caffeine. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you plan on giving any of these things a try, comment below and let me know. Of course, if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you enjoy this sort of content, then be sure to subscribe below. Don't forget to hit the little bell icon to be notified every time I post a new video. And that's it for today. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.